So I had to re-record my Monday night review. So this is my Monday night review of the 1st July 2025 edition, and I would say probably the best Raw after Mania. Should I give this a long review or not? But let's talk about the notable things. First, I like that Finn and JD won the tag team championship and won it in a great match, which showed that New Day can still go in the ring. And the thing is that people are interested in the Judgment Day. They got babyface pops. It was a heel versus heel match, but JD McDonough really like showed his babyface spirit. Finn kind of felt like the Finn of the old, getting those babyface pops. And Finn looked really strong in the match, like kind of like he was Finn Hogan. Like he got a belt shot to the back. He got like a false tag. He hit his own partner with the with the coup de grace. But even then, he kicked out of all three attempts, and in the end he got the pin over the New Day. I don't know. I think the New Day storyline, which was going on, which was essentially that they wanted like opponents to face. I don't think it's gonna continue anymore, and I think this stuff that they've been doing with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory also I don't think is gonna go anywhere. I just hope that Finn and JD's title reign is booked better than their other title reign was booked. But the thing is, the tag titles are generally booked better when they are as an accessory to a larger story. It happened with the Usos in the Bloodline. It happened with Finn and Damian in the Judgment Day first. So I can hope this goes well. I hope this goes well. You had all of them posing. You had stuff with Dom and AJ also, where AJ was funny with the glasses, and Dom was injured. But I do hope it's not a long injury because I don't want like Dom's next defense to be at SummerSlam. It should be at most at Saturday Night's Main Event or a Raw, like much before SummerSlam. Because I do hope that the match at SummerSlam is maybe a triple threat: Dom, Finn, and AJ. Maybe you have Dom beat AJ because of Finn, and then you can have like a Dom, Finn, and AJ feud where Finn can win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, making him a double champion. You can have months of storyline where Finn is like kind of like doing it with a smile, but he's essentially like making Dominic their like slave. Like he's having him like fight their battles, be like the walking like insult machine, like insulting him when they lose, like making him do all the dirty work. And when Liv comes back, then you can do all the Judgment Day Civil War match. Maybe then have Dominic cause like finally break out of Finn's spell, cause Finn to lose his Intercontinental Championship, maybe to AJ or maybe to another babyface, and then have that babyface lose to Rusev because at WrestleMania, because Rusev and Sheamus had a great match. I have not really liked WWE's booking of Rusev because he will have a promo one week, then they will take few weeks, then Rusev and Sheamus will have a backstage segment. Not really coherent weekly to weekly, like a feud build up. But then they had a great match. They were stiffing each other a lot. Pause. Like the punches and the broke knees. Like two times I thought that Rusev will lose. First when like Sheamus hit the two broke knees and then that 10 count, that near 10 count. In the end, the referee was saying, but essentially Rusev cheated to win because he couldn't get the Machka lock in because Sheamus like turned it into a white cross. So Rusev like poked him in the eye, like removed the clothing from the ring post, like from the turnbuckle, and crashed Rusev like Sheamus's neck to it, and then gave him the Machka pin to win. It made Rusev look strong, but also like a heel because he cheated. It made Sheamus look really strong. Like Sheamus looked like he could still become a world champion because he has the years behind him that people know him. He is great in the ring. He has a simple character. Like he is the guy, and essentially like you can do stuff with it, like have Rusev win the Intercontinental Championship, then next year you can run this feud back and then have Sheamus finally win the Intercontinental Championship. So this was great, and I think this is gonna go for at least three matches I can see, because one thing is also that what do you do with Rusev after this? Because Sheamus has a particular spot on the card. Like he is the one who is kind of there to fill the undercard, like have like feuds which happen on Raw, but like fill up time on the undercard, which are good, which are fine, like which probably end in Sheamus winning like the Pete Dunne feud, or you can have like Kaiser involved there. So you can do stuff there with Sheamus anyways of the upcoming mid carders or people from NXT. What do you do with Rusev going forward after the Sheamus feud? Who are his opponents going forward? Like, is he then directly inserted into a title scene or not? So that's also there to see. Let's see what happens there. And you know, you had a backstage segment after Finn and JD won, which was essentially like them telling Pierce and Aldis that make Roxanne the tag champions along with Raquel, because Raquel doesn't deserve to be stripped of the title because she has defended her title a lot of times. And I was like, when has she defended her title a lot of times? Like once Liv and Raquel did, that was after WrestleMania at NXT. And then what you had was they agreed, but then they said that they have to prove themselves because at Evolution is going to be a fatal four-way tag match with one team from Raw, one from SmackDown, and one from NXT. And I think probably the Raw team is going to be the Kabuki Warriors, because later when you had, like kind of like Roxanne with the tag titles, and then you had Raquel being like, why do this so quick? Like she's rehabbing every week, and Finn is like, we do need a partner right now, and everyone then let's vote to have Roxanne in the Judgment Day or not. And then they voted, and Roxanne is in the Judgment Day. She was like fine, and that was there where you know this happened. Because Roxanne said that next week she's gonna take care of Kyrie Sane, which injured Liv Morgan. But then I'm like, so that means probably to even the odds you're gonna have Asuka show up. But then we had like a Kyrie Sane video package, which is kind of like a singles video package where you had her saying that I'm coming for all the gold, that this is my past and everything, the pirate theme video package you had. So, what is your plan exactly? I don't know. I legit don't. Let's see what happens there, because you can also have Asuka and Kyrie team up temporarily for Evolution. Maybe things don't work out. Not like a heel turn, but like things just don't work out. They don't have the chemistry anymore, and then they go into like singles competition. Maybe friendly rivalries go into that. Let's see what happens there. You also had like a Io Sky Rhea Ripley segment where you know Io Sky just where Rhea Ripley came out. She talked like she's over the Judgment Day and that she wants to go on to other things. And Io Sky interrupts and she's like, Adam Pearce gave me the power to choose my opponent. And I'm like, so 3 months went by. Io Sky had no title defense, and then suddenly Evolution time, like Pierce just gives her the right to choose her opponent. Why not earlier? That makes no sense to me. And then Rhea accepted that, and we're having Io versus Rhea Ripley. Now I don't know who's gonna win, because the thing is, I like the way that WWE has booked Rhea Ripley. They have never really booked her outside the title picture. Like when they have, it has usually been when Rhea Ripley is involved in Judgment Day. She's either their enforcer or she's going up against them. Like they have like kind of like boxed themselves, and they don't really know how to book her without the world title or without being in the world title picture. So you can have Rhea win, but maybe she wins with like dubious means, maybe not a clean win. But then Io is like, you did beat me, but you still can't beat me clean. Rhea Ripley gives her a rematch. Maybe you have Io win the rematch at SummerSlam. Maybe like Asuka interfered or Stephanie comes. Whoever wins the battle royal, I do think it's going to be either Stephanie or Asuka, because you had a Stephanie promo too. Whoever wins get a shot at Clash at Paris. So you can have that. Then Io can regain the title back at SummerSlam and go on. And Rhea then can take a break, maybe come back. You will do like a triple threat feud, and eventually, maybe at Crown Jewel or before a little bit of Crown Jewel, you have Rhea take the title of Io and go into that event as world champion. You can do that. It's just that with Nikki Bella, I do think they're gonna probably either like have her in the battle royal or not have her at all, because they did set up things with her like the next week after Liv attacked her, but she didn't. But then they had to scrap it, so they can do that also. But I don't know. I don't know. He also had, Lyra and Bailey arguing. Then Adam Pearce announced they will have a number one contenders match. A match was fine. Crowd was fickle. They were silent throughout the whole match, which was not a bad match. It ended in a draw, which never really happens. And next week, Becky can come out saying that the conspiracy is working against me. Pierce announces the Evolution three-way. That when they started fighting each other after the match was over, the crowd was like, let them fight. But they were completely silent when they were in the ring. So a very fickle crowd. So that was the women's stuff, which is like gearing up for Evolution. Then you had, let's get on with the other stuff, which was, Goldberg had a great video package where they essentially recapped his career, which in 3 minutes, which then Gunther made fun of. He was like, just like his overall career, his achievements have been like presented to us in 3 minutes, and also that he's just not gonna squash Goldberg. He's gonna expose him. That he's gonna, you know, gas him up essentially, like blow him up, because alluding to Goldberg like blowing up when having to wrestle longer matches. And that's how you do it. Like some of the points were regurgitated, but some points were new, like the ones that I just mentioned, or at least one and a half parts of it that I mentioned. And he was doing that when Seth Rollins came out. Gunther had a good point, and he was like, why are you smiling like you just failed? And Seth, being a heel, like not acknowledging that he was there to cash in and win the championship. It's just that he couldn't, so he just changed and said, I lost because I wanted Punk to lose. And then Punk comes out, you know, Seth had a great expression. They had a brawl. Seth goes into the crowd. Then Punk like brushes aside Gunther, but then Gunther is like, whoa, and then Punk pushes him. Then LA Knight attacks Rollins. So like three feuds like coming in like into a one segment, and I was like, yeah. Like they showed that Triple H is locked in because Roman is probably not showing up for SummerSlam because things have been locked in for him to act in the Street Fighter movie. So I can see like, because LA versus Seth is set for Saturday night's main event. You had a Punk LA segment also, where Punk talked about Seth's knees in a funny way. So it can set up a fatal four way. You can have LA win or have Seth win, and any other reason, Gunther have a fatal four way match at SummerSlam, where Gunther can retain or even take off the title, but you can do stuff with that, and Seth can cash in on Cody and everything. So you can do that. In the end, it felt like a little bit choreographed. Like, okay, Punk will push Gunther, then LA will come out. Their brawl also was a little bit goofy because of the food involved, but I like what this is setting up. And you had lots of that, because you had like segment where Gable announced that he had to go get surgery because Penta gave him the sacrifice, but then Penta gave Braun the sacrifice also. He didn't get injured. Then he essentially said that American made like follow Ivy's lead, like Ivy, you could deal with Stephanie Bacquer. Ivy announced that she's been in the battle royal. American made show that you can be champion instead of just championship potential. And you had, I think it was Brutus says bad acting there, and then Chad goes away. El Grande Americano shows up because earlier Pierce mocked Gable that do you both have to get surgeries, and his response was that you know he has an intense schedule, and it was Ludwig Kaiser because of the nose, and that he's tall. Because of his nose, I can like make out that it's Ludwig Kaiser. I am like it. This is a very innovative, creative idea. Like generally, you don't see this much creativeness from WWE, but I'm glad they're doing this. At least it is creative. Like this can lead to a lot of things. I'm just glad that Kaiser is doing something. At least he's not released like uh, like his tag partner, former tag partner, and that was it. And aside from that, you had then in the same segment, Jackie went on to interview Sami Zayn, and then he got attacked by Cross, setting up things for the main event because Sami got injured and Cross was screaming like a madman. He has a great voice saying that say it, say it, say that you are a liar, which he was saying that at Clash of Champions. And you had then Michael Cole also saying that Cross is going to be here. Like it did feel like Triple H is like I was saying that we are not getting low, we are not letting go of him. So you had that. That meant that Sammy's, you know, ribs were injured. Ribs were injured. So later you had you later had Penta kind of asking Sammy, is he okay or not? And then Sammy's like, I'm okay. Like Sammy's just meant to be a babyface. He's so great as a babyface. Then they went out, had a match with Bronson and Braun Breaker, who had a mashed up theme, which is a little bit like too much like uh, beats, too many beats, but it was fine. It was good. Their presentation was awesome. You had like Paul Heyman with a Seth Rollins themed phone with his logo, Tier 1 Glazer, and you had like him talking about a plan B, that he's formulated a plan B, but then Braun already like showing seeds like power, already overpowering Paul Heyman, saying that we are gonna smash whoever comes through our way. And then they went to the ring because Bronson asked first. I am glad they both are talking, not they're not just mute brutes. Then they went into the ring. They had a good match, especially like everyone was protected. Penta was protected because he didn't take a pin. Like I'm just like Penta is a main eventer now, like casually. Of course he's a lackey, but that Kevin Owens is, when he was a babyface, was also a lackey. But it's that him being in the main storyline and him being so over with the fans, I never thought that it would happen. But this shows that it's easy to book luchadors than it seems like. You just have to book them like other people. It's just that they have many more qualities that maybe other people don't have, which can actually make them bigger stars. And then, you had the match. Penta didn't get pinned. Like Sami Zayn actually looked really well, like him giving the sunset flip power bomb, like Fisherman Buster also. But then not seeing that Braun Breaker had tagged in, like Braun Breaker giving him the spear and pinning him after the match, like they were circling Penta. But then Jey Uso came out. I'm glad he was serious in serious situations. Then he like hit Braun Breaker in the stomach and then on the back, then threw the chair in Braun sisters, and they were standing tall. So you had CM Punk and LA Knight confronting each other in the backstage also. So overall, a 4 out of 5 episode for me. What did you think about the show? It was great wrestling wise and non wrestling wise both. So what did you think about the show? What did you think about my review? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share with those who do. My I think I told you my social media, like donate on my UPI ID, which is sharpbrother@okicica, so that I can make YouTube a fun and career option. So that was it from me for today. So thank you, goodbye, Alvida.